Hello, good day. Just waiting for some people to join in. My name is Corrie Thorne if you're new, and yeah, I am just lighting candles. Um, just listening to the guidance here. So, welcome to anyone who is new to my page. I am not in here as often as I used to be on my lives, but this morning I felt a call, so here I am, and I had the time. So, just let me figure out something here. I'm not sure if I have the right sound going. Okay, and I'm not really seeing if we have anyone here yet, so I'm just going to bring up on my phone so I can see from this place as well. Okay, so I do have some people. All right, I couldn't see. I have nothing showing up on my Be Live at the moment. Oh, there's Tracy Jewett. Okay, I couldn't see if I was in live. So this is being broadcast live on YouTube and on Facebook at the same time. For those who are wondering, and just so you know that if you hear me commenting or talking to somebody and you can't see their names, that means they're on the other broadcasting system. So, oh, there I am. Look, there's Lisa. I am on YouTube. First time watching through YouTube. Yeah, I was gonna say I've never seen you come in, Lisa, on YouTube. So, yay! I just wanted to stop in and talk a little bit today about some of the energy, some of the things, and if you have seen my Facebook page or if you're getting notifications on my YouTube, you can see that I actually just posted the weekly message yesterday went up. So the weekly message is, "Hello, Carolyn. I miss your face." I've been so missing my people, like the people that I'd always see on a regular basis behind my chair. When I was hairdressing, that's been coming up so much for me lately. It's like all of my magic scissors people I've been really thinking a lot about. And I think it's just because all my memories are coming back. It's like I'm all of a sudden ready to kind of remember that whole phase of my life. So welcome. I'm a breath of fresh air. Yay. Hello, Kevin. I miss you. Um, and so anyway, I wanted to come in and talk a little bit about the energy. And please know that you're going to hear a lot of my dog Sid snoring. Her breathing is very bad today. I think when the weather changes, her breathing just gets worse. So and so you're going to hear more of her in here today. But I've just been opening up some cards. So I had to go back and see, I even had to go back and get some of my old decks. So years ago, when I was working out of my little room in Slave Lake, um, I used to always use this deck of cards. They were always with me. These were the two decks. I always had the Energy Oracle, and I always had the Mary Queen and Angels. I always had these decks with me. And today I had to bring them back out again. And I'm not sure why, but I had to bring them out. And also, a little bit of good news about my cards is the beta deck is ready for me to purchase and get ordered and get coming directly to me. So we are that much closer to. I have to hold them in my hands before I can actually give a release date for you to be able to purchase them. So we have to make sure they're good. So Lisa and her daughter Amelia worked their butts off to make the cards fit and to get them to fit into the box. So yeah, but I'm just letting some people join in. That's what we're doing. I'm just waiting and just letting people join in while I'm just randomly chatting. So this is a small copy. This is like a paper copy of the deck of cards. This is the box. So my Everyday Goddess Oracle cards, the color will be brighter. This is just printed with my printer. This is the box for the Everyday Goddess Oracle cards. So we are that far into these cards. So finally coming to life. But energy, so solar flares, major solar flares. When you're seeing like all kinds of northern lights happening and you're seeing all kinds of like flashing, shooting things happening in the sky, is we have a lot of solar flare energy. So that means there's a lot of action. There's a lot of action that is happening out in the universe. When there's a lot of action happening in the universe, there's a lot of action happening within us. So these kind of, it's like the brings back in and back online old energy. You may be feeling, some old memories rising back up, and you're wondering why. Remembering specific things about your life. You may be feeling the internal chaos. You may be feeling like you have your own storm going on. It is a storm. It can be a beautiful storm. It can be a messy storm. So whatever that is, just know that it is happening. Today is March the 1st. We do have a shift that's happening. So on my page, I did post about the weekly, but I also, 4:44 this morning, the release of the monthly also came out. And so we're on a big walk this month, and there's a lot of March energy is coming with a lot of energy. Like there is a lot of sorting out, but there's a lot of things out there right now that are a lot of hot mess energy. So we have a lot of hot mess energy that's happening out there, a whole freaking lot. We also have the divine with us. And so this walk with this holy, and I would say it's like the holy walk, like we're walking with the holy realm. So in the realms of spirit world, and we just got this. So one of the realms is the holy realm, and that is the existence of, like, that's how I put it. Like, and I'm sure others do too. But in the holy realm, in the ascendant masters, in that place of where those who would have been considered like Jesus, Mother Mary, Buddha, like all of, well, Buddha would be with the God energy, but all of this energy of that would have walked like the holy walk, like having to walk the desert. How many times have you ever felt like you are lost and you're walking that desert energy? Like you don't know where you're going, you got no path, you got no direction, but you're just going and you just keep moving. Well, that's kind of the energy we're in right now. We have a lot of that's happening. In the weekly, I spoke about contentment and individuality, and no matter what, if you listen to every one of your horoscopes on YouTube and you listen to every single reader and you listen to everyone, and it's like, remember that all of that is general, and that even if energy is in alignment to saying things like, oh, this is going to be a disastrous month, it doesn't mean your month is going to be disastrous. What it means, there could be the energy out there that is a catalyst for change, right? That is a catalyst of change that is taking place within our lives. So in the weekly, it speaks about, if you feel yourself being just content with where you are, why push yourself to go beyond your content every time you get this message that says you got to do this right now, you got to go right now. But what if you're not ready? So your human self has to be very much included in your choices and your decisions. It's one thing to live from spirit, but we're here for the human experience. And our human matters. And we've really, truly discounted our human, and we've been separating ourselves from ourselves. And that was when I wrote the book Wine and Chips, which we are editing, which behind this screen open on my computer is the book Wine and Chips, because Lisa and I are now working on the next stage of Wine and Chips. As you can tell, we don't stop. we always got so much on the go. Plus, Lisa has all of her own work. It's so crazy, the stuff that we do. But it speaks, Wine and Chips is about association and disassociation, and how we get so easily lost away from ourselves. We get so connected in consuming life and feeling like we have to consume something to feel better. We have to be a part of something to be better. Like we get absorption, right? We're always absorbing all of this outside opinions and knowledge to decide for us what you're going to do. But within you, within our human, built within us is a system. And when we can deprogram from the systems that have been so fed into the subconscious. And we can really truly be able to listen to, our own energy, our own truth, and just say, I don't have to be in fear of being left behind. I don't have to be fearing that there's something big waiting for me and I'm not going to get to it. Whatever is kind of meant for us, if we keep being that kind, compassionate, caring self to ourselves as we are to others, what is for us will still be there. And I speak a lot about that in this week's channeled message. And it also then trails over into the monthly message. But the monthly message, I speak about seeing this big crowd. Like I keep seeing this big crowd rushing off and everybody's rushing, like getting stompled. And I refer it to like at times when a new stuffed animal would come out and everyone would like Cabbage Patch Dolls or Elmo, right? And so when Elmo came out, I remember everybody was rushing to get these Elmos and they were lining up for hours and hours to get them. And it's like, if that's the way the crowd is going, if that's the way it's saying this is the way everyone has to do this, everybody has to be that, walk the other way or stop, sit back, pause, reflect, think for yourself. Everything within your human has a purpose and it's a must. And we must learn the power of being able to stay connected to our human, to trust ourselves, to be able to think for ourselves. Because when something else is thinking for us or somebody else is thinking for us, we are acting and responding from those thoughts of somebody else, right? And that was one of my hugest reasons and whys behind creating More Than Existing, was to be able to get ourselves back to a state of being able to be grounded and rooted and know who we are. When you know who you are, you know what you're not, right? And so that's a huge part of the energy that we actually have happening right now. So it's like, if the crowd is going, don't get yourself into the crowd. You can find your way around the crowd, right? Like you can walk the outer edges. You can sit back and wait until the path is cleared and then go, right? It's like everybody that's in the rush to win the race to get to the end. Like, it's like, oh my God, I got to get right here, right now. It all has to happen right now. It's like, oh my God, you're so welcome, Alex. And it's like, if we all stopped and really paused and really looked at what's really at the end of our human, like what's at the end, what's waiting for us is that one destination. And we all have the exact same destination. And so our purpose on earth is to live, is to embrace living. It's to embody the essence of feeling alive. And so if we're walking around like zombies and that sense of, the Walking Dead is that we can let our human be like it is non-existent and be like it's like just numb and always numb, not feeling, not ever being able to feel because we can't handle feeling. Then we're like the Walking Dead. You're dead while you're alive. And we're here to be fully alive. We're here to learn how to create those skills to be able to allow ourselves to feel. Yeah, some things may hurt, but it's important to feel it. And so when you haven't seen me so often in the past few years, when I haven't been so visible in these places, I've been visible in other places and doing other work, but I've really truly been coming back to that state of being able to let myself to, connect to what's real for me, what was real in my stories, letting stories end, and just, saying, those stories just, they don't have the weight that sits with my truth and who I am. And getting to know that version of yourself that it's like, yeah, the world may have this chaotic energy. This may be here, but it does not mean that that's me. And it doesn't mean that I have to get so caught up in getting lost in all of this chaos and all of this drama and all of this arguing and all this anger. And I don't have to become aggressively angry to make a change in the world, because that's never heard. That is all energy that falls flat. And then we keep falling flat. And then we keep losing ourselves. And so it's important to be able to find our way back into the sense of knowing that we don't have to be consuming to to disconnect from ourselves. That it's like the hours of scrolling through TikTok to not exist in your world, but think you're existing in your world, just scrolling, right? That whole just scrolling. And it's amazing. You may have every single condition out there if you follow every single one of a specific thing. And then all of a sudden you got everything that TikTok is telling you you have. You're being sold the story, right? And so connecting to our own truth to know what is true for us is so important right now. And that's in the energy everywhere. So really think about that. I'm hanging with the birds. Yay. I was out feeding the birds before I came in. And that's how you feel as well, Alex? Yeah, exactly, right? And it's like, it's so crazy. And hello, my other friend, Kevin. I got two friends, Kevin, in here today. And Carlene, hello. Um, and so I pulled a card right when we were starting. And the card that I pulled was actually the seventh chakra. And she's wearing a crown. I almost put my crown on. I was so tempted to place my crown on my head. I'm like, I want to put my crown on. All day yesterday, as I was doing some writing, as I was hanging out with my 5-year-old self in my journaling, I literally sat with my crown on. Just saying. And so this is the seventh chakra. Oh, okay. Don't answer that comment that just came in. That is a troll. So there is a troll. Don't respond to it. I'm trying to catch it. Oh, bad. All right. Okay. So our card was the seventh chakra, which connects us into our crown, right? This is our seventh chakra. It is the crown chakra. It is our spiritual connection. It is the connection that is, the last path from human into spirit, right? There is a connection. Now your spirit is a part of your human connection, and our sense of our higher self and connecting into something that is beyond our own emotions, because our mind plays tricks and our mind lies to us, right? It's like our own mind, but there is a new truth, right? There's a truth for us to reach. And this comes with Archangel Uriel, and I love Archangel Uriel. And then on the opposite end, so adjacent, the partner to Archangel Uriel is Archangel Aurora. And so Archangel Aurora is really that rose gold. And I always refer to rose gold is that bleeding, is like the divine bleeding into it is our blood, sweat, and tears that goes into staying loyal and faithful to our truth, to our truest version of ourselves, to our divine, right? And that is kind of the energy that I pick up with Aurora. Uriel really comes in with that divine connection of allowing us to use our own will, but getting us to question our whys. So Archangel Uriel is about getting us to question our whys behind our motives, to the stories we tell ourselves, or to some of the choices we're about to make. And so when we bring in this energy, she's coming with this book, she's holding this book, she's got her crown. And so our crown chakra is our crown, right? It is the essence of it is like our halo, right? It is that divine essence of white light energy, and that we are made of that white light energy. But the expansion of it connects us beyond our human and brings us into our connection into spirit world. And what that means for us is that we haven't, when we keep asking our emotions, or connecting to our old memories to wonder why specific things, or we keep allowing worry, like worrying about things rather than asking for a way out, is we forget that we can ask beyond, and then our human will have this automatic response to start taking actions. And you'll often hear yourself say, I don't know why I'm doing this, but it feels right. I don't know why I just had to go here, but it feels right. I don't know why. And it may seem so dumb to us at times. We're like, why am I here? Why am I doing this? Why is this happening? You know, what made me what why did I just say that? And sometimes you're like, I don't know why I just said that. So then you're apologetic for something that may have come out. But that's what bypassed the mind, right? It bypassed your doubt and your fears. It bypassed all of the all of the old brain self, and it really truly came through. So that is the, what is needed that comes through us. But we block it and we stop it, or when it is out, we have the free will to then pull it back, take away the power of it, take away the energy of it. And then we start to, lose our own power in our doubts. So the moment you do something that just feels right, or you say something that just comes through, that you just give as a message, or you just say, and then you go, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I don't know where that came from. I apologize. It's like, but what if that was exactly what was needed? Right? What if that little thing, and so simple as it was the catalyst of change? Right? What if that is the beginning of something that is about to bring in a blessing, a miracle, an opportunity, right? Because all of those things don't come when we're in push and pull. They come and they arrive when we surrender, when we are in a state of least resistance, when we just allow things to be. And a part of it is for us to switch the mindset of believing, not believing in ourselves and waiting for someone to tell us how to live our lives, into being able to believe in yourself. And you are not responsible for how anyone reacts or responds. Everyone has a free will, and everyone does as they choose to do. It is always a choice, right? And so people make choices. Learning to use your discernment is huge. Learning to consult with your counsel and connect to your higher self. So part of you is your higher self. Beyond your subconscious, what's been programmed, is your higher self. And being able to connect there. And Archangel Uriel is just such a magical part of this journey, and allowing this and she comes with knowledge. She comes with wisdom that goes beyond what is written in books. What is written in books comes from somebody else's opinions, somebody else's perspectives, somebody else's views. And I always say, I don't write how-to books, because I'm still learning in this world. I share stories, and so they, as the stories channel through, the medicine is in the writing. The medicine is in the story. And when you can see that you're not alone, that other people have those experiences, or you're like, oh my God, that just makes sense, that's exactly how I feel. That's exactly when you can change the name to your name, and you can hear your own story. And so the medicine is in the stories that I share through that work. And that's part of how the healer energy works through me. And so it becomes there's not the frustration of, why is nobody listening? It's like everyone has the opportunity to be able to do what we need to do, but we also have to be able to become that right version of ourselves. And it's so important. So the more time that we connect to our own spirit, and we consult with our own soul, and we relate it and connect it back to our human, and we remember that we're here to become the best human being that we can be. That's why we're here, to be the best human being, and not just for everyone else, for ourselves as well. And that's what spirit world wants for us. I'm always worrying and forget to ask spirit for help. Yeah, exactly. Most people do. It's like you're worrying about a non-existent. The future the future, it exists out there somewhere, but it's not existing in your wheelhouse yet. So, and your worry takes away the energy you're accumulating. So if you spend all weekend, shutting out the world and just doing things that are good for the soul, and then the minute a Monday hits, and then it's Monday again, and then you step back into the same person you were, doing this, repeating the same patterns, you haven't shifted the mindset. And then the mindset is not changed. And so you go back to worrying. Here you are worrying again about what is to come all week long, and worrying about what hasn't happened again. And worry will not bring change, right? You can never solve a problem. You can never solve a problem by staying in the problem. You got to get to the solution. And often what we don't realize, we are the solution. It is something that we become willing to do to be the solution. And sometimes it's not easy, and sometimes it doesn't appear pretty, and sometimes it's going to leave you becoming, you know, uh, looked at differently. People may judge you. People may even think you're being the asshole. They may think, oh, she's become or he's become so selfish, so self-centered, whatever it may be, right? And it's like you hear all of those things by making choices to choose to do the right thing. And that's learning to evolve the ego, and to know that there is that sense of the higher self, the ego, that, the super ego, that is here to be able to get you on the right side, creating your heaven on earth. Yeah. So that's our first card. That's a long-winded conversation for one card. But that's our one card. Let's see what else they bring for us. I just feel like I just want to place my hand on everyone's heart and just say, slow down. Stop. Breathe. I tell you to smell the roses but it's winter. Breathe in the crisp air. Breathe in the fresh air. Breathe into you. Stop. Pause. Breathe into you. And I'm missing a fingernail. Stop. Breathe into you. Just take that breath and just feel, just place your own hand up on your heart, or just imagine my hand is on your heart. My hand can be on your heart. In distance healing, I literally can place my hand up on your heart. So, my hand is on your heart. The hand of spirit, Archangel Uriel, is on its energy hand is up on your heart. And just feel that, and just breathe in and just breathe into you. And as you just breathe into you, just feel this energy. Just feel this pulsating of this beautiful light, and just feel this light just pulsating. This is you. And so as the crown chakra, we talk about it being white. You may also be experiencing like a more of an indigo-y color, and more of an indigo-y color. And so it can be very indigo-y. And this is also the same. It's the same thing. It's that of the crown chakra, and just feeling and sensing and just breathing, and just keep breathing with me. Just stay with me. These cards are so old that literally the plastic is even coming off them. See, adjacent possibilities. So when I spoke about Uriel, I said, adjacent to the angel across from Uriel would be Aurora, and that adjacent energy. So let's imagine anything that is a worry today. Let's cross over the worry bridge. Let's cross that. Let's step from worry. Let's cross the bridge, and imagine crossing the bridge. And then on the other side is a new possibility. What if? So imagine as if everything that we are worrying about is now solved. Imagine everything that we are trying to force happening in our lives is now resolved. So just seeing the resolution, feeling that resolution, and just feeling and I'm going to call it, I feel like Isis is here, that resurrection, and feel this resurrection of vitality of this new life force energy, as if everything has worked out. And just feel your feet. Just feel your feet for a moment. I want you to just feel your feet. So feel your feet. Just let your feet, feel like they're literally crossing a bridge. Stop and take a look. Look over the bridge. Breathe in the air. Keep moving. And then imagine. So now just imagine on the other side of all that we are worried about, all that we are concerned about, is the resolution. There's a new possibility. Feel that. Feel that. Now connect to that. Now let that energy in. Feel the difference. Can you feel the difference? Now, the moment you let yourself slip and you let in doubt, that's the old brain. That's the old mind. Instead of staying in, there is a way, there is a possibility. I don't know it yet, but we're asking the guides and the angels to take us on a journey. We're asking them to guide us through, bring us into a state of being. Help me shift my mindset into one of where I can feel the essence that there is this connection, there is this solution, there is this resolution, this, I would say, and I'm like, I keep hearing revolution, right? It's like we're having these aha moments. And with that, we shift. And when we shift, clarity comes, right? It's the calm. It's not the calm before the storm. It is the settlement after. When everything settles, what is no longer blows away. What was old debris leaves, and then you can see what's left. What's left standing? What is the one thing left that's a solution? You. You. You're still here. You are still here. And you're still in this moment. You're still in this time. So there's a possibility that you are what you need. You are what you need for your future. You are what you need for what is to come. And so here we are. And you just got to keep walking in. And then we ask, what is out of my control, right? So that sense of being able to then let's step it up. So let's climb again. So now that we're on the other side, let's find that place to sit and sit with your guides and your angels. And when you sit with the oracle, imagine just finding a bench on this other side and you can just sit. And we as humans are not greater than the darkness, but light, spirit, light, love is greater than the darkness, which the darkness is our fears and our worries, right? So what if we can't do on a human level can be done through us, for us. And so as you sit, what needs to be done? We ask for divine guidance, intervention, miracles, and blessings to be able to asking spirit, angels, guides, God, source, creator, whatever you want to call in, and just work through me. Work your healing, love, light, magic, medicine. Work through me to bring forth the solutions that are for my highest good. That we command that energy in and just ask. This is out of my control. I don't have the human power, but I know my spirit has the courage, the power, the strength. I know that miracles can happen. And just feel it, and just feel yourself sitting with that angelic realm. Feel yourself sitting in the presence. Just let yourself be. And just, you may even hear a whisper. You may even feel the energy within you. I have a burning happening in here right now. And so you may feel this. And you may connect to this, right? And just let yourself be there. And this may sound absolutely crazy to some people, but I'm telling you, it's not crazy. And how many people wait until they're in absolute desperation on their knees, and when absolute fear, crippling fears in, they beg. We don't have to beg. It's not about begging. It's about hope and faith. And it's about restoring that sense of faith that we are worthy to be able to sit in the power of that love and light. And that's what we run from. We run from the light. It's so easy to stay in the darkness and the worry and the fear, but it's so hard to stay in faith, to stay in the love, to stay in the light. And that's why there's so few people that stay sitting there. And when they say they're sitting there, but they're judging and complaining, and you're not really sitting there. You're over there. As much as you want to tell yourself you're there, you're not there. And so stay in that energy, stay there for as long as you need. And then just wait and keep repeating this pattern, this message, and just keep returning yourself to the bench. And it's like, there will be something that brings forth the shifts and the changes that you need. and just having that faith and just trusting that. And then you can rise it even higher again. Keep rising. Keep breathing in, breathing in. What else is possible? Why not push it, right? What else is possible? What else is there? And so you can get curious and have a playful, have that playful energy, because it really truly does help us to be very playful and connected into that playfulness energy. The childlike mind of curiosity. Become curious, become an observer of bearing witness to all the little things. If you're only waiting for the big things, you're going to miss all the little things that are working out in your life, or all the little things that have worked out in your life, or you can't see all the blessings you have had, all the beautiful shifts and opportunities that have come your way, and acknowledge them, know them, feel them, sense them. So if you're just coming in, I suggest you do go back and listen to this walking meditation we were just doing. And so that's a walking meditation and a moving with your eyes wide open. You don't have to close your eyes. You don't have to connect into your third eye. With your eyes wide open, it's amazing the journeys we can take. And it's learning to be able to trust that sense of your own self in that experience, to stay with your human. We don't have to be escaping us, numbing us, avoiding ourselves to be able to get to a state of living a healthier life. Oh, well, welcome. Welcome from San Francisco. All right. So one last card to see what else they give us. And then I'll do one of the Mary cards to go with that. Oh, we have deceit. Interesting. So see how we're just talking about the divine? And I mentioned how, that little bit of darkness that creeps in, we could be sitting there. So deceit, it's amazing how many times we can deceive ourselves. We say we can't. Often, how many times do you hear yourself say, or others say, I can't trust anyone? When we can't trust anyone, the person we're not really trusting is often ourselves, right? It's like, if we can't trust ourselves to be able to use discernment in our choices and decisions, and to be able to feel this, right? And so this is deceit. And when deceit appears, it comes from, those hidden places within us. So when somebody else's thoughts becomes your voice, when somebody else's thoughts, like of doubt and fear, becomes your actions, how you respond, when somebody else is thinking for you, then that's the things that are in our subconscious mind that brings us back to the doubt, to the worry, to such, self-criticism, judgment, those type of places. So this deceit, and as we could easily see earlier, like just a little while ago, I had to ban this energy that came in that was trying to sell itself as peace, and then saying they had someone who could give you everything that you needed, right? And then I had to ban that energy from here. So that deceitful energy creeps in and tries to sell itself, tries to present itself as light. So there is that sense of our own doubts that just says, you know what, you can't trust anybody. That's not, you better don't you do that practice. That's just silly. Why would you do that? Why would you ever give yourself an opportunity to sit in something so beautiful? We want you over here in the worries. We want you over here in the dark, right? So when we allow the restrictions of our mind, the old beliefs, everything to hold us from the possibility that, what if something that you would never have believed in before is the one thing that helps you to return to a state of believing in yourself now? What if all of your old beliefs around something was because somebody else feared it? And so you fear something because somebody else feared it. You don't have any faith or any weight in it because somebody else. So the minute I mention like Jesus and God, minute I mention those things, often we'll be triggered by those because we have a story. And you got to remember, your stories came from a human. It came from a human's perspective, their opinions, their knowledge, and their views. then that becomes yours, or you rebel it instead of building your own relationship. And when you build your own relationship with something, I remember giving a friend of mine a book, and it was Return to Love by Marianne Williamson. That was before my books came out. And she's like, I just, it's a good book, but I can't read it because it keeps talking about God. And I said, well, call God Joe, call God Mary, call God anything. Give it a name. And it was that simple. Give it a name. Give it a name and make it your friend. And so my friend guided me. The light guided me, whatever it may be. But how we deceive ourselves is we find ways to be able to victimize ourselves, to become a victim, or to sabotage ourselves, or to get ourselves back into just survival mode, to get ourselves back into a why, to why we can shut things down that may be a part of our solution. So be aware of this energy. And in my whole yearly predictions that are on YouTube, I speak about the sinister energy, and that sinister energy. And I'm like, it is everywhere. And we all have sinister energy that exists within us. When you can see it and you can know it and you recognize the voice, you recognize the patterns, you recognize the behavioral patterns, the repeats that we do, the cycles we get ourselves back into, you can X out the sinister, right? But we're seeing it so much because it's trying to sell us fear. And those fear stories and that sense of, God forbid if we think for ourselves. So think about that, like really truly allow yourself to let your heart think about that. Let yourself sit with spirit with this and ask what is right for you. What is right for you? What feels right for you? Let your mind be more open, let your heart open, because when you become available, if you're not available, if you're too busy over there in the corner worrying about things, how are you ever going to be available? And so this is the third chakra, and this brings us into Archangel Chamuel. And I wasn't going to do another one, but another one. So this beautiful golden ray, this golden light energy that is speaking to us from a place of our will, our free will choices, and the power that exists within us. And giving ourselves times of grace, rest, peace, pause, reflection to let our minds get out the chaos. When people say, I don't meditate, and I'm like, well, you really should find some time you should really create some sort of practice for yourself of where you leave the mind and get to the heart, or where you just sit on that bench and just let yourself sit in the possibility of hearing untainted wisdom. To hear untainted wisdom, which means opinions that, it's not from opinions or somebody else's perspective. It's that you get to view it from a place of being in a pause state. And so third chakra brings us into our power, our will. It's a sense of also so the emotions exist in the sacral and the solar plexus. And this is where we create our stories. So as we're coming here, it turns a light on. It kind of gives us that, oh, maybe I should think about this a little bit more. I'm not in the dark. I'm coming out of the dark, right? It's like turning the light on so that you can see. And so we're bringing the light on, turning the light on. And I just feel like there's a lot of lights coming on right now. And we're just coming into a new state of being. But like I said, this month begins with a lot of crazy, chaotic energy. But don't follow the crowd. Don't feel like you have to chase the crowd. You chase the energy. It's okay to sit in the place of contentment, just waiting in the pause, waiting for that moment. And we did just come through all those solar flare stuff. So we had a lot of stuff that was going on, a lot of stuff. And so, like I said, just before we started, I had to go over there and get these old decks of cards that were my faithfuls. I took them when I was on the road, when I was going from community to community doing readings, when I was working out of my little Reiki room in our salon and spa. Like, these decks of cards went everywhere with me. And so You have to go back and listen to this whole message again and do that little and do the walking meditation that I just did, and it will help. It will probably bring forth the answer of what you're seeking. Tamana, faith. So this is the Mary, Queen, and Angels deck that I would take everywhere. This was way back when. And so this is the card of faith. And have faith. And if you don't have faith in you, it's hard to have faith in anything else. Or it's so easy to have faith in something outside of ourselves. It's amazing how we can have so much faith in fear, right? It's like, it's like I have to be, we have to be so in this place of fear. I have faith in God to heal this situation. So remember, like I said, don't let the word trigger you. Change it into whatever it needs to be for you. Divine, light, rock, moon, stars. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I don't get to decide what somebody else's belief systems are, and nor do I ever want to force people to push people, guilt people into having to believe in anything. I have, in my years of teaching Reiki and healing, I have trained some amazing Reiki healer practitioners and teachers who are total atheists, and it doesn't matter. We all can really support each other and be there for each other and learn from each other. And it's been an amazing ride, an amazing journey to do those things and to meet people where they are and to just learn the power of listening. If you could just sit and listen to a stranger and not open your mouth to have an opinion and just hear their why to why they have their stories or why they are who they are, it's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. And so this faith card is coming up that, the more that we can step back into a place of having faith in that sense of spirit, in trusting that what we need is coming, what we need, what is best for us is on its way to us. But if we are hidden behind the closet doors in deceit, when we're deceiving ourselves, when we're so caught up, then we're like, it's never coming, nothing good's ever happening. I can tell you, I've been about 3 years and I have traveled to the depths of the dark night of the soul journey. Like I have been in the darkest of my healing journey, and yet all I knew was there was light. And all I knew was that this is temporary and that this is healing. This is the place of where my best self got left. Because most of our best self is left behind in those traumatic experiences in our lives of where we shut down. And that's where our emotions, that's where that emotional self, right? So we stop emotionally evolving and growing, we stop spiritually, and we stop believing in ourselves in those experiences, in those times we hide ourselves away. So it's like putting the little girl in the closet and just keep staying hiding, and she's probably been told don't come out until it's safe, but she doesn't yet know it's safe. And it's, or taking that little boy and saying, go hide in that shed and stay in that shed until it's safe. Well, that little boy, that little essence of you may still be hiding, and it's still hiding in that space because you somehow keep telling it is not safe to come out. When you learn that you are safe with you can learn to be safe in many other places. And you can be safe in trusting your own choices and decisions, which is why your teachings are so transformational. You've done the work and walked the talk. Yes, I have, Lisa. That I have done. And so this card and this truth is the one thing. And this was one of the words I had to work on with Lisa Starr Francis when I worked on faith. I had faith in everything, but I didn't have faith in me. And it took me a while to really restore that sense of faith in myself. And to trust who I was and what I was and why I was called to be me, why this was my call. One last Mary card for you. Compassion, the power of compassion, right? It's like what we are passionate about are often the things that are what is needed for us to live as our best human self. What am I passionate about? And when you can be compassionate about, really truly wanting to listen to the previous versions of yourself and sit across and just say, what were the things that what was it I absolutely loved? What was it I actually really truly cared about? What mattered to me? And when you start to find that sense of remembering your passion, because often your passion has been with you since you arrived. Your soul came with everything that it would need. The human starts to erase it, block it from you being able to be fully connected to it. And so reconnecting to you, getting to know you. And so March, in my monthly message, I speak about this. We are on a holy walk right now. Where March is a holy walk. And the holy walk is not, it's not pretty. It is not always easy. You may feel like you're in the desert. You may not know where you're going, but you just know you have to go. You just have to keep following that light and just being with that light. And on around between the 20th, the 22nd, I just keep seeing this opening like a tear. I see it like the veil or something is being like a little opening, that light comes in. And I just feel like we are walking into there's an opportunity for us to be able to walk into our personal heaven somehow, to be able to walk into the sense of walking into us and creating a sense of knowing within ourselves, a sense of faith within ourselves, an opportunity for us to know that we've walked through so much, but we don't have to keep walking through so much more to get there. Now, we're always going to exist in the fates, but there is an energetic shift that is happening. And just because it's there doesn't mean you have to rush to get there by the 20th, 22nd. It's whenever you arrive. When it opens, it's open for you, and it's open until you arrive. So there's the ability to be able to open up. We got more coming in. So being able to open ourselves back up to the possibility that there is a version of me, of myself, that is waiting for me. And I have to keep walking towards that. What do I want to feel more of for my future self? What do I want to feel more of in that future? That's always the statement that I always tell everyone. What do I want to feel more of for my future? And just get yourself into that feeling, feel it, and then as if you can just let it go into the wind. Let that feeling like just go into the wind, and just I have to keep creating more of that feeling to get towards the direction of where I want to be. So I hope in some way that this helps you, and that somehow, if you haven't watched the beginning of this video and you didn't do the walking meditation, I suggest you go back and you watch that one and watch that video again. I'm just doing some canceling out here again, but go back and just watch that video, watch that part of the video again, and you can walk yourself through that walking meditation. And I hope this message resonates with you. On my YouTube channel, you can go watch the weekly update, and you can also watch the monthly. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not. And then if you have not purchased my books, these are my books. This is More Than Existing. If you're new here, I know there's some new people. And this is my second book, My Truth of Existing Beyond the Reflection. Both are available on Amazon. This book, because this wasn't published by myself, right now, because whoever is printing this book for Balboa has jacked the price on YouTube or on Amazon. And so Balboa, if you go directly to Balboa Press, it is probably the cheapest place to get this book right now. Just saying. I am taking it back. So I am taking this book back, and we will re-release it ourselves. This one is My Truth of Existing Beyond Reflection. This is fully self-published, and it is on Amazon. There is 7 books to this series, but that's the 2 that we have out right now. So I hope in some way that this helps you today, and that you can step into your own love and light and just really, truly trust yourself today and spend time with your human. There's nothing that needs you any more than your human self needs you. So stay with your human self, stay connected to you, and know that you are worth letting yourself feel what you need to feel and to be able to discover your truth and what aligns to you. Much love. I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.